5 minutes. I'm just gonna test my. I got shit to do today. I'm just gonna test my dailies instead of my night. Oh, who is this? Someone playing Souls. Okay. Uh, Champion's arrival. Intel Vault. Nature's heirloom. Daily deals. Champion's arrival. Champion assembly. Motherbox favor. Champions. Oh, no, a minute. 9, 10, and 11. Max. Get some work done. Yeah, really. Thank you for your efforts. Let's work together. Yeah. Kick, punch, it's all in mind. You're never gonna hurt somebody unless you try to. The biggest problem with that they're they're dissonant on the attack. They want to threaten but not deliver. I don't suffer from that problem, sadly. It's not my finest character trait, but I don't. Have and well again, probably. Sadly. Well, how is that sold out? Oh, Houston Jones. Oh, yeah, because I want to go better. That's already done. 14, 15. Go. See you next Tuesday. Yep. Okay. Three. 4. What if I want to do power 4? Pretty powerful.
On Netflix. Did you like it? I don't know if I watched that one. It was like an oldish one that was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, noob. I'm so sorry. I swear I'm not like ignoring your messages on purpose. I'm so sorry.
Today's heroes.
The Rise of Skywalker Star Wars movie came out
Just
in
doing the Pete.
2019, sorry. Most people hated the rest of the movies in the trilogy, but I enjoyed it. The more people bitched and wrote about it, yeah, I get that. I have it with a few things too.
I'm just walking here. Alpha walking. Just fixing. Catwoman just strikes me as someone who drives more. Like Vixen's like a lioness, just jogging. Anyway. Fucking everything's gotta be like racial with some people. Because she's black, she's poor? No, she's out the. She's. Catwoman's like this money grubbing. Of course she's gonna be in the cut. Oh, shit. You brought it up. Did I anticipate? So. Vixen has no voice. You gotta give. Hey. You gotta give an inch to get a mile. If you believe in one way again, one way roads, and you're only going nowhere. See, anytime someone starts going off about Republicans or Democrats, you need to stop, take a fucking jagged pill, and be like, this person has an agenda. What is your cause? What has brought you to this hill? Who are you willing to kill for? Who are you willing to die for? Because otherwise you just paint your face purple and draw a letter on your chest.
But yeah, Fox had the ticker on for 28 years straight and then decided, actually, we're going to remove it. And of course, they were quick to dismiss at the same time that gangbusters job number that came out today, which beat expectations at 228,000 jobs created in March. Remember, that's without the tax cut that's coming. I mean, without the taxes that are coming. of the biggest false, flag, but one of the biggest bullshit numbers, by the way, is the total number of jobs created. It doesn't actually, first of all, besides the fact that the number and the way that the methodology of getting that number is on shaky ground, besides that, the reality is the number of jobs that are created in a country or created in a particular one.
People are asking a lot of questions. People are asking a lot of questions about what's happening in the outside world. What should we? Don't lie. Just don't lie.
What percentage of those jobs were low-paying jobs that people had to take on as a second job to be able to pay their rent? What percentage of those jobs were gig economy jobs? How many of those jobs that were created were people signing up for Uber to start driving because they need to get another job to pay? Because when I say job about Uber driving, not that I don't think it's valid work, but rather that it's bullshit that they call that a job. Because you don't get medical benefits, you don't get the benefits of being an employee because you're considered a contractor.
Benefit, not a contract. That's a feature, not a bug.
Anyway, for the destruction of your vehicle.
That could be looked into with you'd be looking at your business
side. You don't get like a 401k for it. Not that it matters now, but you guys don't. Not that it isn't valid work, but rather that it's bullshit that they would even call it a job.
It's certainly not being implemented the way I expected it to be. No, Atlanta, Georgia, Zynga, I was there. Shay, Christian Rinky, put it in the bank.
Remember this. These were many of the same people who told Americans to be patient when China began to devour our manufacturing sector. So why would we ever take economic advice from them?
The people who were running Zynga, where we were not driving our own cars around, we were driving their rich-ass, drunk-ass bitch cars for them. Technically illegal. But the cops liked that. So they had to sell the business model of somebody.
Quick, put on the scary China B-roll. Oh, so scary. Their military is marching. Well, you fast forward to today, and here's where things stand. America has gone from being the dominant exporter of steel to number 4 in exporters behind China, Canada, and others. And now, if we do nothing, China will dominate in everything from tools, computers, solar panels, shipments. Are they actually doing the do nothing? China wins.
If two people are fighting over something, like getting from one side of the room to another, and the one doesn't move, and the other one will win. Yes, this is pretty much like manifest obvious. They're blatantly obvious.
China already dominates in all
Yeah,
fields. They've been dominating on solar panels for forever. They've been dominating on technological advancements, on technical advancements. They've been able to successfully reduce the cost of homes, which everyone thought was impossible. Like, it's just nonsense. Like, I'm sorry, objectively, one of the coolest things that's come out of China in the past, I would say, 5 years, is a reasonable treatment for Alzheimer's, which is something that globally we've been trying to work on for how many years? 5 decades?
For what?
More?
Centuries?
Created a successful.
You can just say centuries and be
microsurgery that helps basically flush out. I think it's like your
it's not a treatment so much as that's like it's like using a stimulant, which also shows like straight meth has been known to assist with that problem as well. But the long-term consequences of doing that have yet to be Well, that's when we know what happens if we just keep giving an ultrasound. The like canaling thing they're talking about, where they go in and they like remove, like they're like Q-tipping part of your like nerve tunneling things in your skull. We don't know what's gonna happen to those people in like 5, 10 years. And the benefit is not as it's noticeable, but not as noticeable as one would hope. Or you could also, take Adderall. Like, bite. It is the most effective treatment we know of.
As for the reason my goblet. It's just an energy drink.
Oh, yeah. Foreign boy.
Anyways, the worst part about this as well is no one was sounding the alarms or whatever is not even true. The people that were sounding the alarms on jobs and job manufacturing and just production in general going to China were people on the left that talked about how antitrust laws being focused on consumers and the protection of consumers was a bad goal. And antitrust laws should be equally focused on workers. This is currently something, well, I don't know if it's going to happen anymore, but it was currently something that, it was something that Lina Khan was working on regarding Amazon. That Amazon, you might be able to get the cheapest stuff at the most convenience, but it engages in a lot of bad practices against workers and business owners that are bad for the general economy. Because workers are being fucked over, which is bad for economic health. So it's insane to be like, oh, actually, no one, all of you were so okay with this, and suddenly now you're not. It's like, what are you guys talking about? What? No. Notice, by the way, like those factories never mentioned who's bringing them up now that the tariffs are up. Oh, is this the? Ooh, wait, can we get some press coverage?
Yay! People, what people? You like me. I said something that they didn't like me. I'm so worried I was gonna have to run away scared.
Why does it look so crunchy? Why would it look so crunchy?
Is your audio codec also a video codec? It's not called a blind reading. A war is won long before the last battle is fought.
Do you think focus on Trump being the root of all our problems will lead actual progressive policy as the monarchy still? It depends how long and how much fucked up shit Trump does in the process. I think it's plausible.
Don't lie. You're right. Enemies are.
Oh, oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm so live.
Then
Can I be honest? We need more radical behavior. Like, it has to be greater than this. It has to be like. It has to be more than just. Oh, well, he did something wrong and then he admitted it. Like, we should be seeing, like, mass striking around the country. Like, we need to see what France does, where they literally, everybody refuses to fucking go to work and just riot all day and all night for weeks. And getting the fucking Trump orange man to say, well, I was wrong about this. I don't think it's good. I did want to see what Israel.
Since then, Israel has killed over 1,000 Palestinian people. It has bombed schools, shelters, medical clinics, residential buildings, water treatment plants. Israel is summarily executing paramedics, decapitating babies, destroying everything in its way. Israel is also once again invading Gaza and establishing all of these crimes are being committed with weapons from the United States.
I am the darkness. Time to fly. Time to fly.
no one's dark. Dark night.
I am vengeance.
Let me at him.
Time to fly.
I live across the country, but last week I decided to fly so I can be there tomorrow and host this fighting career summer youth. Go to marchforpalestine.org/bus or click the link in the description. See you tomorrow. It's at the White House.
It's very. Unfortunately, as you might imagine, Fox is already trying to twist it.
Time to fly.
The darkness. Great Hera.
I never met.
For Atlantis.
Time to fly. Time to fly.
Great Hera. The dark.
I am vengeance. Time to fly.
Grateful. Call me.
Time to I never miss.
Guy wearing a jump. The biggest line I've ever heard in my life.
For Atlantis.
Time to fly. Head in the clouds.
I love when conservatives insult people because like they're not allowed to curse because cursing is against spelling or some shit. So continue to punch after your homeland. The guy who can say fuck. No.
I would say catching, like, I believe you can make the bitch out of any skills, but not
I love this. It's a coordinated Antifa group. They're coming to get us. Even though we were counter protesting. I like that it says that he's a former Arizona police officer. Is it an indicator? Like we can see the film chronology. Attacking people, and the video is like a guy hitting an object. They're attacking people! And he's hitting like a box of stuff. Ah! Hamas! Turning Point USA signs. So it's okay to destroy property. I mean, are you asking if it's illegal? It's not legal to destroy property. I would say it's pretty based if you destroyed, like, you know, if you burned like a swastika, like a Nazi flag or some shit. I think that'd be pretty big. It's still illegal to do somebody else's property, but I would think it's pretty fucking based. Not all property is treated equal. Some property is worse to
Time to fly.
the things that are illegal, legality does not equal morality.
So frustrating. I listen to FedEx person there, but
Great terror. Let me at him. For Atlantis.
Time to fly.
Great terror. Great terror. For Atlantis. Let me at him.
I never miss.
For Atlantis.
Time to fly.
They were
I never miss.
people. Glad no one was hurt. Tough property. Thank you very much. Brenda Shado, you have to
I'm stickers. I'm right, John.
nothing. I know a guy in office who would disagree. I know a guy who might disagree with that. I want to see what Bernie had to say yesterday.
Every week, we go through this every like my reading. I was like, this is like a funny bit. It sounds like really good classic color film.
Oh.
I felt like this man. Why this man? It's such a nothing to me.
He's getting rid of agencies that he has no power to get rid of.
It was such a throwaway stuff. I fell off a story.
I will gladly accept this task.
And now,
Great Hera.
is investigating him, and he's threatening to withhold federal funding.
I am I was I can do this. Dead or alive.
Clearly, that's the attack on the First Amendment and freedom of expression. He doesn't like what some media are saying, and he is intimidating them. The message is clear. Hey, I'm the boss. Don't you dare criticize me. It's not just cops and the media that's coming at him. He's also waging a massive attack against the judiciary. Unbelievably, he is actually trying to impeach judges who render decisions that he doesn't like. Think about it. Very few people watching this discussion tonight thought that the Supreme Court's decision on Citizens United, Roe v. Wade, were good decisions. In fact, they were disastrous decisions. But we're kind of old-fashioned. Even in the rule, that's what happens. Presidents appoint those people to the Supreme Court. We go around saying, hey, you got to impeach Chief Justice Roberts and the other members. Terrible decisions. That's not the way the American Constitution works. And that's why we're always believe we actually believe in the Constitution. The judiciary that Trump is going after. He's now waging a vitriolic attack against major universities that are teaching courses or allowing activities he doesn't like. For years, we've heard conservatives talk about decentralized government, getting the government off the backs of the people. We've heard about education being a local issue.
I've not heard that one. I've only ever heard
Limits that covers what they can or cannot do. And an absolutely unconstitutional, I think, federal agency
just like
ran
they
for
were motivated to have
throw
but mine is I didn't know like honestly that's the reason that I was thinking about this time.
Trump has also decided that he needs to lead the culture war. He's made himself chairman.
No one else can like stuff like this like hey
So he
let
had
so our mutual friend is taking show my friend a picture of that Trump like his bird I mean yeah
But it's like, what? This is, I think this is the other reason that people want more out of Bernie, like AOC. Because, like, clearly the Democrats don't care, right? Instead of taking anything that Trump said seriously, instead of taking the unmarked van seriously, instead of taking running a third time seriously, instead of taking the destruction of regulation, the increases to tariffs, aka taxes, and then tax cuts for the rich, instead of doing any of that stuff, it's just like, well, we're going to try our best to resist by doing nothing. By continuing to be Democrats. And like, what do you do? Like, genuinely, what do you do as a country? When someone like Chuck Schumer is in power, and he is going to be in power for at least another, 2 years, and there's nothing you can do. Like, I'm really not joking when I say that we should be rioting and protesting the way that France riots and protests. Like, institutions should not be able to work because no one is showing up.
like that was my first response to it.
Do you guys remember when TwitchCon was going to happen in Paris, and there was like slight warnings about it because they were actively protesting?
I started off as a hater.
riot? Well, yeah, because rioting is illegal. I don't disagree with you that those mass protests are needed. Most of the country just isn't on the same page yet. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. But, like, this is what the U.S. should look like every single day. This is from 2023. More than 1 million protests across France against Macron's pension reform. This is how America should be acting when we talk about gutting Social Security. Treasury here, unfortunately, protests have lost their efficiency because our costs are getting almost as violent as yours. Yeah, sure, but like that doesn't change the fact that you guys have way more protections and way more rights than the average American does because of these protests. Like we don't like in America, you just get served the slop and you're like, oh boy, girl again today, yeah, woo, uh-huh. I mean, even a lot of liberals don't understand that there's a big gap between something being illegal and it being immoral.
That was gold. Gold. So, that's trying to dismantle, destroy federal agencies that serve working families and the poor. Western's leaving thousands of workers in the Social Security Administration with they can work to help save to get the benefits that they need. It's a massive attack against Social Security. Trump and Musk have also decided to lay off some 83,000 employees at the Veterans Administration, which will mean that men and women put their lives on the line to defend our country. Our veterans will see a deterioration in the health care they receive at the VA and the timeless benefits that they have. And then on top of it,
France was protesting over less than 4 years being added to the retirement age. People were losing their Social Security benefits and their 401ks because he doesn't understand how his tariffs work. We haven't even used our tractors to dump any poop at Capitol gates. Like, what are you supposed to do when over half the country is like, yeah, well, that's just how America's supposed to be.
Trump and his Republican colleagues are now working on a huge reconciliation, which will bring nasty cuts in Medicaid, education, nutrition, etc.
You voted for tax cuts, and your taxes go up.
So now, and that is last month, and my house helping Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been traveling the country in what I call a fighting I've been to Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Colorado, Arizona, and the turnouts have been extraordinary. And then we had more than 30,000 people turn out on the largest rally I have ever been to the house. And what I have learned, people about meeting thousands of people is that the people who want to sit down of Trumpism, anti-authoritarianism, they all there to fight back. And I should tell you, just to mention that I'm going to be out west next week.
I mean, this is, I've also said this before, but this is the one silver lining that I feel like I have found. That I really, really do hope that enough people see the shit show around us, see this country rapidly shortages and that people's lives get so bad and that people lose so many trees that they have no recourse but just like mass rioting. Because it's not just about whether or not your life is impacted, it's about whether or not you know anyone whose life is impacted. And if 1 in 4 people are like losing their jobs or losing their homes or whatever, and I'm not even an accelerationist. Like I never want to be an accelerationist because I think it's more harmful to be an accelerationist than to just ask for moderate change and achieve democratic socialism. But like my one, no, and I'm still not. I'm saying that like I'll take accelerationism over nothing. The thing is, the left has to actually be there to direct that anger in the right direction. I don't think we really have a choice except accelerationism at this point, yeah. And it's just I've been waiting for 400 years, and so we'll see what happens. Probably more affirmative action policies than up by women. I mean, yes, but also historically conservatives have been very cautious, and like Republicans have been very cautious about how many ways they make the country worse in any given election cycle. Like within any given presidency, they'll make things 5% worse. We're going for like 200% worse, which might be enough. If enough bad things happen under Trump's presidency, and they're all directly because of Trump policies that he advertises, it might actually be enough.
Let me just mention just a few hours ago, I was on the phone with a friend in the first district. I was sitting on the organization out of Boston, so correct. And they gave me opposition and this guy, over 500 people in the first district of Iowa want help. So I know, get to work, organize the the whole meetings, etc. And we are going to help organize this all over this country, especially the Republican members of Congress want by slim majorities. And we're going to make sure all the people in those districts that are not small villages, they know loudly and clearly many of their constituents that they must not vote to give huge tax breaks to millionaires by cutting Medicaid and other programs that work for families desperately. So yes,
Vigilance.
the oligarchs are
Or they're real American. Roll Tide. Sports, go sports. That's Chicago. Wisconsin? It's the Northeast team. No, it's a Atlanta. Georgia time? Georgia time. Georgia time. Right?
I want to not feel delusional, and I want to feel like when people fucking sign on to their favorite TV show, which, like, dude, if you watch Benny fucking Johnson, his favorite TV show, you might be too cooked to be honest, but I want to believe that people see this shit, at least other conservatives who don't maybe watch Benny Johnson, that they see something like this and that they recognize that they're on the wrong side.
Losing money costs you nothing. This is just the reality of life. You yell at the young and dumb how much money you should lose everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. That builds a weapon carrier and you learn a lot of lessons on that.
It costs you nothing to lose money.
Losing your character costs you nothing.
Ooh. I'd be in chat, but they're not banned. They're doing something that they can't admit that they're doing, that they want to make illegal, but they can't admit that they want. They want to privatize it. They want it to be like party only, which is not a bad idea. The spy concept.
China did this to me when I don't include regulation at all. Me when I think the free market is the best. Me when I believe in the invisible hand. Me when I let the government do nothing. Because the government doing stuff is socialism and doing too much stuff is communism. How could China do this to us?
out their country. I call that traitors.
Who is this for? Who is this for? It feels like he's making e-boy content for women, but I don't know any women that would ever spend their time watching this. To which I ask again, who is this for?
So it's time for a reset. It's time for
All right. Okay. All right. Excellent. Good. You went from expensive eggs or a national crisis to losing money costs you nothing. See, this is why I consume slop, guys. Okay, this is why I have to consume slop. This is why slop is the only thing that keeps me sane. Because my brain can't handle knowing that there's at least one person out there that watches this show. No, this is not slop. This is not slop. Ethan Klein is slop. This is why I consume content like Ethan Klein. Because my brain can't handle the idea that there's even one person that watches Benny Johnson's show and is like, this guy gets it. Like, I can't live in the same world as those people. I don't want
This is OCD. Instead of picking up my keyboard and risking a potential,
I don't want to
I'm
believe that
going to look at, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and look at it differently. Look, it is off. See, if I picked up that keyboard and tried to use it, it wouldn't have worked.
We're gonna have a little bit of Saturday fun day right now, okay?
Annoying.
Ian Ross's confused reaction to his stocks crashing is so funny. So there are clips about this. Bob? That's really works to get Trump elected. Is confused when Trump has bad policies. What the hell? What do you mean? What?
Is he a dirty, rotten
This can't be
scoundrel,
Trump's
liar?
This must be somebody else.
Everybody know it?
I didn't do this. Anywho, I wanted to watch this with you guys. Fun shit. I'm keeping the 2025.
Okay, no, I'll go in. It's fine.
see why I say this keeps me sane? Do you see why I say this keeps me sane?
So could be Ethan Klein maliciously doxed me during the most recent episode of his podcast. He stated my real name no less than 17 times and also showed it on the screen a few dozen more times. This is not information that I have ever publicly revealed on my own volition. It has only ever been disseminated via doxing. Pretty much the most doxing kind of doxing, in fact. It was taken from government databases by right-wing trolls in Argentina at the end of 2023 and then spread wider. And now Ethan Klein is spreading it as well. Flagrant violation of YouTube's terms of service. And if you're interested in a more detailed explanation of that, I have a whole long-ass video going over the whole saga of those people doxing me. And these are the people that Ethan Klein appears to be working with now to try and disseminate my dox even further after their previous attempts to dox me and get me killed failed. The information that Ethan Klein has been disseminating actually comes quite directly from the people who originally doxed me. He has been citing paid far-right doxer True Pavlo, who originally obtains information from the Austrian government and illegally disseminated it from government databases. So yeah, the link is extremely direct. Ethan Klein seems to think that he can get away with doxing on YouTube, that he can literally disseminate information stolen from government databases illegally. This has, of course, resulted in me receiving tons of messages from...
Which, by the way, that's not how like the TOS. Ethan Klein's understanding of how the TOS works with doxing is not accurate. And what Pat about is saying is true. That doxing, at the very least on Twitch, I can say for a fact, it doesn't matter if something is on a public database. If you give it willingly to the public, if you give someone's information willingly to the public, that is still considered doxing. You are spreading information that otherwise someone would have to spend a lot of time for, and that is still considered doxing. It gets weird when it comes to like businesses because a lot of companies, for example, companies that are publicly traded, or companies that have to disclose a lot of information publicly, that information gets a little bit weird and dicey. But something like this, exposing someone's like full name, it doesn't matter if you had to spend, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes looking for that information, because you're giving the information to a bunch of people and you're presenting it in a malicious way to harm that person.
His fans with vivid descriptions of just how they're going to use my personal information to kill me, like this one, this one, this one, and this one. Precisely what Ethan Klein was trying to incite by spreading this. This man is so pathetically
It's like, how ill do you have to be, by the way, to be sending messages like this? Like, every part of it is like, you are unbelievably mentally ill. You better watch your back. I will stab you. I will 110% attack you with a knife, and I will aim for your neck. Do you understand? You suck. You must freak. You look like your dad married and fucked a goat. Oh, and don't forget, there is no genocide in God. I can see Ethan Klein doing this.
What he tries to do to me is to others, and we get into that in a minute as well. But the divulgation of private information non-consensually is one of the few things that YouTube actually does take rather seriously. They have a legal privacy violation complaint form, which you can use to report the non-consensual dissemination of your private information. One of these instances of private information being your full real name. The offender in this case doesn't actually have any recourse. Their only option is to either censor the private information from the offending video within 48 hours, delete the video, or leave it up to YouTube's legal team reviewing the video after those 48 hours are up. They get no right to respond, they get no right to try and explain themselves, no right to try and justify what they did. I've used this complaint system in a number of other cases, and every single time when someone was spreading my docs like this, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose, YouTube has sided with me. They have either deleted the video and actioned the person in question, or the person in question has censored or removed the part of the video where they doxed me. Usually when they did it, because they didn't know this was private information, they were just fine.
I mean, this is a terms of service violation by Ethan Klein. 100%. And this isn't even like the first time that he's doxed or incited his audience to harass someone.
Mistake. So if the H3 podcast,
which is like, it's crazy the idea that he's lot to counter Superstore. Or at the very least, there's a lot to present to a judge to show that, like, the contempt that Ethan Klein has, the disregard for agent, sorry, the disregard for basic safety of the person you're attacking or trying to sue is insane.
Treated like every other YouTuber here, then this podcast episode should either be massively censored, which will be difficult for them to do, given that they mention my name so many times within it that they basically just have to cut out the entire episode, or it will need to be entirely deleted. Or at least that's what would happen if they were treated the same as other YouTubers. In reality, big YouTubers tend to be treated a lot differently and tend to be given a lot more grace by YouTube to just blatantly break the terms of service. I find it difficult to believe, for example, that I wouldn't get banned, or at least have my video deleted if I was to, say, repeat Ethan Klein's easy to find address 17 times in one video. Obviously, just because you can find it doesn't mean that it's not doxing to share it. The only case where it's not doxing is when the person has shared off their own volition, and that is how YouTube's community guidelines understand the offense. Clearly, they don't care if you can find the information elsewhere. There's others dox the person before you go around to doing it. All they care about is that it was shared without permission of the person in question. So, if Ethan Klein is treated with any sort of equality to other creators, then his latest podcast episode should be deleted within 48 hours. But then again, is he treated equally to other creators? Given that he has been just overly doxing people on Today's Podcast Speaks at this point, perhaps not. Ethan has been trying to justify this by saying that he found my personal information in other places, which is humor, given that if someone else doxes you first, that means that you're fair game. Which again, I'd love to see him apply that logic to his own personal information, which is just out there on the internet all over the place, and which he doubtlessly would throw a fit at if I was to share it. I mean, this is a guy who said during his latest podcast episode that telling him to clean his shit is a threat. He sent me an email just right now. I said, send you a picture. He said, we're not bringing up this.
Is doxing illegal? It is absolutely illegal.
He said that 8:50 a.m. He says, clean your shit, don't eat it. Which I don't know is a threat. So yeah, he would definitely get.
Polish. For some reason, my brain went polish the turd. Then if you don't wipe it, if you don't clean the bathroom, yeah.
Consider it a threat for me to share his address, even though it is rather easy to find. Yet he seems to think it's okay for him to share my own personal information, as he makes the argument that it's fine for him to do so, because others doxed him before he got around to doing it. Very genius logic there, and also very irrelevant, given that YouTube does not give a single shit about it. YouTube's terms of service are clear, and if their terms of service equally apply to all creators, Ethan Klein should be getting his podcast episode fully deleted within 48 hours. If not, then we can say definitively that YouTube treats big creators differently to everyone else, and that bigger channels like the H3
I'm pretty sure that nobody's really being. I think you just make
As I
it.
said at the beginning, he's done way worse than other people. Here is Ethan Klein doxing live on his podcast a random Instagram commenter, a former fan of his, who told his wife, Hila Klein, a fiction on his show, to go to hell. Ethan Klein scrolls through their Instagram, finds their family members, commands his audience to look into the guy and to harass him, and his crew member, Abdullah Ayad, make sure that the audience knows precisely where the guy lives. This result.
And like, I even know if I can, I've been as cautious as I can about this guy, because I don't even know if I can show it.
This guy receiving tons of death threats, and his family members receiving death threats as well from the H3 community. All at Ethan Klein's command. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Here's the original clip. Matching swastika adjacent tattoos. Man, I'd be obsessed with you guys when you only have 50K subs. Glad that's behind me. Enjoy hell. This guy's for real.
And like literally, I can't even show this section of the video because it's just, he's just doxing this guy. Like, he literally is just doxing this guy. And then he proceeds to show photos of his Instagram, and he asks his audience, hey, does anyone know where this is?
You download this app, it's like a community safety circle app, and this is what David knows, and
puts him out in a group of people.
The
And it's
coin
bad
is
enough
ready.
that, again, this guy's family members have had to deal with this. He said that his mom has to deal with bomb threats at her school, and his sister has to deal with comments talking about rape in her Instagram section. Like, I
Really want to
don't.
get all this city? They just
What?
want to do it for it.
What do you do at that point?
Would be deleted at the very least, no, at the very least get a warning or a strike, and rightfully so. But even Klein did that to this guy, wiping his stream, a clear instance of doxing and harassment by YouTube's own guidelines, and the video is still up. Nothing has happened as a result of this. Even Klein expands his posts, says they went malicious, that they even went down revenge porn on this guy and disseminated it. And this thing is just like an average week of the H3 podcast. In fact, his community at his command has only been escalating against this person, sending him more and more death threats, threatening to track down and kill his mother, who they doxed as well, and threatening to track down, rape, and kill his underage sister, which, to be clear, is something that is not at all
Is it
out of
like
line
alert,
for
like
Klein's fans
important?
to want to do, given that Ethan Klein himself has sexually harassed a teenage terrorism victim in the past. Check this clip out. What can you say about a phone like this?
There's the emojis that turned into words button.
She's got a nice smug face. Good to fuck. I would ram that too much cock so far down her throat.
See, she's trying to be self-deprecating and honest.
But that's enough to incur a gag reflex in about, I'd say, most women. And I wish you could keep that smug smile for me that whole time, you know what I mean? You get a girl. Maybe she's looking for that smug little face you want. Yeah, that's Ethan Klein for you.
And don't worry, his wife is reporting.
Right, man. I guess the fans learn from the best. Now, apart from Ethan Klein constantly doxing people, he's
Actually,
live on
maybe it's
YouTube,
live
on his
on all of
podcast, and
sex
somehow
rate
getting
burnt
away
out
with it.
in.
He also does it off-platform frequently, mostly in his Instagram stories, which he used because he's definitely afraid of anyone being able to respond to him publicly, because he knows that he would just get ratio in any sort of environment when he was subject to public scrutiny. For example, just a few weeks ago, Ethan Klein tracked down a random guy who doesn't even leave comment in the stream chat, found the guy's Facebook, and then posted it publicly to his viewers, hoping that his viewers would do their specialty, send death and rape threats. He does this sort of thing.
It's also, it's very important to recognize that there is a massive difference between public figures and private figures. You don't have a reasonable expectation that if you leave a mean comment on someone's fucking profile and you don't make content, you're just a normal person. You don't have the expectation that you would have to deal with getting mass harassment. So for him to take a random comment, look up that name, and then publish it to his audience, like that, this is, you are inciting to harass, which is illegal. And you're cheering your audience on for doing it.
Constantly. And it is literally all that his internet presence is dedicated.
Now, public figures are deserving. There are public figures who have private lives too. Sure, I'm saying that like it's a step further than like a private person. They don't even get anything for it, right? At least if you are a public person, like you'd like the notoriety can help you or whatever, or that it's a reasonable expectation. You should take more cautious steps if you're going to be a public persona. Again, I still disagree on like on the premise, and so does Twitch and YouTube TOS, by the way, because doxing is very much so against their terms of service. But private people, first of all, they can't afford to deal with it because they can't afford like lawyers, they can't afford like private security detail. Like regular people don't have access to those resources, and they don't have access to an audience that they can actually like publish their stories to. So at least when it happens with a public figure, that there is an audience that they have that they can say, hey, this is what's happening to me. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Blah blah blah. But like, it's a private person. Like, they just want it to stop. Like, they don't know what the fuck is happening.
He doesn't edit content, doesn't do anything. All he does is complain about people criticizing him, dox them, and tell his audience to target them. This is someone who, if they not have such a big channel, if they not have previous good grades from YouTube, they would have born him banned. Pretty much no creator with less than 1 million subscribers could ever get away with this sort of thing. And Ethan Klein is just blatantly breaking the YouTube
service pretty much every single time he puts out his podcast and getting away with it every single time. The question is, when will it stop? I'm going to link in the description here the offending episodes of the H3 podcast with timestamps that everyone should report, given their clear violations of the YouTube community guidelines. And all of you should do everything that you can to make sure that YouTube gets eyes on this, apart from reporting the offending content and filing your own privacy complaints if you find it's violated your privacy on these podcasts, as I did. You should also tweet at Team YouTube on Twitter, which weirdly is one of the only real ways to get in direct contact with YouTube support, and tell them politely, calmly, and in detail what he has been doing on his channel with links to specific timestamps and examples. His podcast can scarcely go a single episode without doxing someone and trying to stick his fans on them, and there is simply no way that he would be getting away with this if he wasn't being given special treatment from YouTube. Anyway, I'd like to end this video with Ethan Klein going on a minutes-long tangent about how his entire family got the parasite Giardia from what he implies was eating dog poop. The next part is that
And this is why I was going to reach my hands to play my video, because I play the entirety of the clip where he says, not that he speculates, but that he says, and I'll let the clip roll.
has Giardia, which is it's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
And Olive has this?
Olive has this. Yeah, she came to us with
In
it.
no uncertain terms, says that this dog, Olive, has this.
Okay. She had diarrhea, and Ducky came to us with that too. And I just wonder why. She should have found it already. Anyway, so she has Giardia, so we have her on an antibiotic, but we had to wait until Monday, which is today. We just got it today, and well, Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia. Oh,
And in no uncertain term,
Alright.
in no
How long is
uncertain
this
term,
running?
says, I'll let it play again.
Hour and a half.
well, Sonny's crawling around.
Probably
He's
back
putting
on a
everything in his
later
mouth.
date.
He's at that age. He has Giardia. Oh shit.
Like they tried